If you're wondering why I look like a fool, it's because I'm about to enter into the caseifici La Rinascita. That is the cheese farm La Rinascita here in Parma, to see how they make the king of cheeses, Parmigiano Reggiano. So let's go on in and see the magic behind the product. The cows are milked twice a day. The milk that comes here in the evening is put in these large stainless steel vats and overnight separates. The cream goes to the top, the milk comes down. The morning after, the milk is used to make the Parmigiano, but it's actually combined with the fresh milk that's collected in the morning. And that's why Parmigiano Reggiano is called a half-fat cheese, because it's a combination of both skimmed and fatty milk. So this is what the milk looks like from the evening before. It's partially skimmed. And then what happens in this next vat is that they're adding the morning collection of milk. So this is the unskimmed milk that's being mixed up with the partially skimmed milk from the evening before. And from this other smaller tube, you can see the whey that's being poured in. And the whey is vital. It essentially is a fermenting agent, and it's made from the residue from the previous day's production of Parmigiano, which means they can't take a day off. There's no Christmas. There are no bank holidays. They have to make Parmigiano every day in order to have that vital component, which is the whey that you see being poured in right now. And now he's adding another component, the rennet. This is from the inside of a calf's stomach. It's an enzyme that helps curdle all of the milk into eventually cheese. And after about 10 minutes, the rennet begins to take effect, and it transforms the milk into a kind of yogurt-type consistency. And the process that you're seeing right now is called the spinatura, the instrument, the spino, the thorn, because in days lore, they would actually use tree branches to break up the curds, the way you see him doing it right now. So the gentleman that you're looking at now is the cheese master. He's the casaro, and he's the most important person in this building because he's the gentleman who tests the consistency. He's the gentleman who tests the temperature with that bare hand. He can't put a glove on because he would lose sensibility in all of it. And so he's the man who ultimately determines when this product is ready to transform. And you'll notice that it's much more yellow in color because during the cooking process in these copper vats, essentially all of the whey comes out in the form of syrup. And so the white milkish substance has now become more of a yellow cheesy substance. And after the cheese has cooked inside of these vats that are sort of shaped like upside down bells, all of it settles down to the bottoms. And then the workers essentially pull it up with the help of the cheesecloth that you see into these large masses that are then eventually put into the molds that I'll show you later. And what you're looking at here are the molds inside of which obviously that product is put. So every one of those vats produces enough cheese to fill 2 of these. It's put in here using cheesecloth, and then a weight is put on top to press it down. And you can actually see the grooves here where essentially all of the liquid that emerges is then funneled out. And at the end of the day, they pull out the cheesecloth and they insert this particular object, which is incredibly important. Because if you've ever wondered how they get that Parmigiano Reggiano onto the rind of a wheel of cheese, now you know. You can actually see here the printing. But there's a whole bunch of other information as well. There is the tutela consorzio. That is essentially the watchdog that makes sure that the milk, the cows, what they eat, the territory, the producers of the cheese, all of it is rigorously controlled. You can actually see the DOP, which you see in so many different places, and that is protected denomination of origin, that this can only be made here. So folks, Parmesan is not Parmigiano Reggiano. It's Parmigiano Reggiano or it's not Parmigiano Reggiano. You can see the date of production, August of 2025, and this empty space is reserved so that after 1 year, when the inspector comes to essentially ascertain the quality of the cheese, he could put his stamp of approval right there, and you know that it's ready to go. Once it's taken out of the plastic molds, it's put into these metal molds, and you can see that it's actually porous, so it allows air to get through and essentially promotes the formation of the rind. Now, very important, everyone, that rind is edible. Don't throw it away. It's made out of pure milk. You can put it in your stock, you can put it in your soups, you can put it in your risottos, or you can just eat it the way I do. Heat it up a little bit and it makes a great snack. And after the cheese is taken out of the metal molds, it's put into this salt brine where it remains for about 20 to 25 days. And you can see it's actually just the natural process of osmosis, that each wheel will absorb as much salt as it needs to. And remember, true Parmigiano Reggiano has only 3 ingredients: milk, salt, and rennet. And the salt is the only preservative it needs. After the wheels are taken out of the brine, they're dried off and then they're put here in the aging cellar. And folks, this is my idea of paradise. And if you look at the wheels, you can actually tell their age because the younger wheels are whiter in color, and the older they get, the darker they get as well as they release more oil and fats. And after the wheels are aging here, they eventually need to be turned and cleaned because they sweat out that salt. And then the consortium inspector comes, he makes sure that the wheel is up to par, and that blank space that we talked about is then filled with the stamp of approval, and all that's left to do is to enjoy this delicious cheese. And I'd like to thank my friend Stefania Bertaccini, who is a chef and a culinary guide here in the area of Parma, who's given me all of this great information that I was able to share with you today. Grazie, Stefania.
Prego.
And remember to like this video and to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rocky's Italy, so that you don't miss out on any of this great content that we're filming here in Italy and publishing weekly. And now I'm going to go eat an entire wheel of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese.